Here's the cold hard truth about real estate taxes. They are going to go up. It is inevitable. Uncle Sam wants his money no matter what. If you've been following me for a while, you know that the acronym for mortgage is PITI, P-I-T-I, which stands for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So what do you do if your mortgage payment goes up due to real estate taxes? Stay tuned to find out. Hey there, and welcome to my channel. This is a channel where we discuss all things real estate, whether you're a first-time home buyer, fifth-time home buyer, fourth-time home seller, a real estate investor, or someone who's aspiring to be a realtor. This is the channel for you. Do me a favor, if you are finding my content valuable or entertaining, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so I can keep the real estate content coming. Now, with that being said, let's talk about these real estate taxes. The first thing you need to understand about your real estate taxes is your escrow account. Your real estate taxes, along with your homeowner's insurance, are held in what's called an escrow account. Whenever you signed your closing documents, you should have seen a piece of paper that broke down your mortgage payment. It showed your principal and interest payment along with your taxes and insurance payment. Your lender takes a portion of your mortgage payment and they hold it in the escrow account. They then make your tax payment to the city. They make that payment twice a year, normally in April and November. So for example, let's say property taxes in your area are $4,000 annually. You divide that by 12 and you'll come up with $333.33. So on your mortgage breakdown, you should see $333.33 come out of your mortgage payment every month to go into your escrow account just for taxes. So that's a very important piece when it comes to understanding your real estate taxes. Say it with me, escrow account. Now you may ask yourself, how are property taxes actually calculated? What does the money go to? And things like that. So the money for real estate taxes, it goes to public use for schools, library, construction, and things like that. As taxpayers, we all have to contribute, and this is our way of contributing. We have to pay real estate taxes. So how is it calculated? It's calculated based off of your home's value and your city's tax rate. I'll say it again. It's calculated based off of your home's value and your city's tax rate. Now, each state is different. I'm a local realtor here in Virginia, and I cover the Hampton Roads area. So for Hampton Roads, Virginia, the property tax rate is approximately 1.16%. So how do you do the math to see what your annual property taxes are? So for example, on a $300,000 house, you would simply put 300,000 times 1.6% in your calculator, and you're going to come up with the amount 3,480. So that lets you know that your annual property taxes should be about $3,480 a year. So here's the big question. Why do property taxes keep going up? Why do we have to go through this? And the answer is a harsh reality. It's the same reason everything else in the world keeps going up. Inflation. We live in an expensive world. I'm sure most of you can agree and say that we don't see prices going down anytime soon. So we have to prepare for tax increases. It's just a part of the world that we live in. I'm sorry. I wish I could change it. I don't like paying my taxes either, but it's something that we have to do. Like I said, Uncle Sam's gonna get that money one way or another. Now, the positive side to your property taxes going up, that means your home value is also going up. We'll talk about home value and equity just a little in this video, but we'll cover it more in depth in another video. So make sure you remember that your home value is going up when your property taxes rise. So what do you do if your mortgage payment goes up because of property taxes? Well, the first thing you can do, since you know it's inevitable, is prepare for it. Every year you can just about guarantee that your mortgage payment is going to go up slightly due to taxes. So if that happens, if you know that's going to happen, why not set aside some extra money and budget accordingly? So let's say you set aside $200 every month. That should be enough to cover your property tax increase for that next year. Now, in some cases, you do have the option to cover the escrow shortage, because that's what it's called. You'll get a notice in the mail saying, hey, there's an escrow shortage for your taxes. And let's say there's a $4,000 escrow shortage. In some cases, you do have the option to just pay that $4,000 up front. And if you don't have that money to pay it up front, that's when they break it down to an additional $200 or $300 on your mortgage. Sometimes it's an additional $50 on your mortgage. Like I said, each area is different. So make sure you understand what's going on in your area. But if you have that extra $4,000 or extra $2,000, however much the escrow shortage is, you may have the option to pay that up front, so that way your mortgage is not increasing. So that's another video. It's always important to be set up with an emergency fund, especially when you own a home. Now, here is the next option. If you have a mortgage increase due to real estate taxes and you just do not agree with it, you can appeal your tax bill. You can appeal it. Now, you can't just appeal it just because you don't want your mortgage to go up. There are processes and procedures that you have to follow to be able to appeal the real estate tax bill that you received. The very first thing you need to do before you actually appeal your real estate taxes, you need to do your homework. Make sure you understand what's going on in your area. Look at the homes around you. There are many different things you can do. Contact a local realtor. If you're a client of mine and your taxes have went up, please contact me. I'm more than happy to help you. The next thing you want to do, this is in the appeal process, you want to see if there are any tax breaks that you can qualify for. Some areas you can qualify for tax exemptions. If you're in Virginia and you are a 100% disabled veteran, you can be exempt from taxes. It's not going to just happen. It's something that you have to apply for. You're not just going to wake up one day and say, hey, I'm 100% disabled. Oh, I shouldn't be paying taxes anymore. No, just like everything else with the city and with the government, there are processes that you have to follow to be able to get that tax exemption. Now, also, if you're a senior citizen, you may qualify for tax exemptions as well. So, number one, do your homework, know what's going on in your area. Number two, make sure you understand what tax exemptions you may qualify for before actually going through the appeals process. Another thing I would also suggest is getting your property tax card, aka your property tax record. Now, this is something that is public information. It's typically available through the assessor's office. It'll include things like square footage, room size, lot sizes. Sometimes it'll even include major upgrades that have taken place within the home. This can be very beneficial to you in your appeals process, especially when you're working with an appraiser. We'll talk about that in just a second. Now, the next thing when it comes to your appeals process, this is a big one. Know the deadline to file your appeal. Here in Virginia, you have 90 days from the date that you receive your real estate tax assessment to be able to file an appeal for your real estate taxes. 90 days here in Virginia. So you want to move swiftly and get this done. Now, what you're really doing when you file an appeal for your real estate taxes, you're disputing it with the local tax assessor's office. That's all you're doing. You're saying, hey, I don't feel this is right. The main thing to understand when you're doing this is that you will need a third-party appraisal. The appraiser is going to look at comparables in the area. Maybe you feel like your neighbors aren't paying as much taxes, or maybe your taxes are actually higher because the square footage of your home is bigger, which means the value of your home is more. But you will have to have an additional appraisal to be able to submit to the assessor's office. That's really the only way that you can prove that your taxes are invalid. Now, there's a board of review of real estate assessments. You can usually find this information on your city's local website, and that's where you can start the appeals process, especially here in Virginia. Now, one thing important that I want to say, I am not a lawyer. I cannot provide legal advice. I do work in real estate. I do see a lot of things. I do have connections to people. However, if you are thinking about filing an appeal for your taxes, I would highly recommend that you speak with a real estate attorney to make sure you're doing things the correct way. Now, in some states, there's something called a homestead exemption that you may be able to qualify for to allow you to write off a portion. It pretty much protects a portion of your house from being taxed. Now, here in Virginia, if you are not going through bankruptcy or some other type of legal debt situation, you cannot qualify for the homestead exemption. I know people are probably looking on YouTube trying to figure out ways to see how they can get around it, but if you're in Virginia, it has to be some sort of legal debt situation going on, or you have to be in the process or getting ready to file for bankruptcy. So do some homework on that if you are facing that situation. So as I said, Uncle Sam, our good old Uncle Sam, is going to get his money regardless. Now, here's the truth about home ownership. It's a lot of times people won't say this. The reality is, even if you own your home outright, meaning the mortgage has been paid off, it's free and clear, you still have to pay property taxes on your home. It is inevitable. Like I said, unless you're 100% disabled, or maybe you're a senior citizen, or you qualify for some other type of exemption. If you do not pay your taxes on your home, even if the mortgage is free and clear, they can put a lien on your home and you can lose it. It's unfortunate. I know we do not want to pay real estate taxes, especially on an asset that we own free and clear. So you may ask yourself, what is the point in owning a home if I'm still going to have to pay property taxes on it? The reality is, real estate is so much bigger than just owning a home. Some people buy homes because, hey, they're the first ones in their family to do it, or I just want to own a home. I'm tired of paying other people's rent. And I get that. I 100% get that. I respect it. I understand it. I was in that same boat as well, my husband and I. However, since being in real estate, as I like to say, being in the real estate game for a while now, you have to expand your thoughts when it comes to real estate. Real estate is an investment that has a very high ROI. And I'm telling you, it can change your life. If you don't know what ROI is, it's return on investment. Let's say the main thing we're talking about here is equity. Equity. So let's say you purchased a home for $200,000 and you keep the home for 5 years. Later on down the line, that home is worth $350,000. If you sell your home, you have the potential to make over $100,000. That is the power of equity. $100,000 can be life-changing to some people if you use it correctly. Now, also, there are things such as HELOCs and cash out refinances for your primary residence. If you use your primary residence as leverage, you can take money from the equity that you have in your home to purchase a rental property. And that is where you start building generational wealth. So I know property taxes can be discouraging, but I want to encourage you that real estate is much bigger than just owning a primary residence. Okay, I really hope this video has helped you. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, be sure to type it in the comment section. I'm more than happy to respond and help you with any of your real estate needs. As always, if you found this video valuable or entertaining, please hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.